Hello, television family. We have gathered once again right smack dab in the middle of the month, 15th day of November 2022. It's a Tuesday, according to my calendar. I am Dan Kuntz, your host for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're live here from Studio 2 in downtown Wenatchee, Studio 1 under remodel. Good show for you today. It's cold, it's raw, it's cloudy, it's 28. We're going to do it again today, what we did yesterday. It's going to happen again tomorrow. And then Tucker switches the camera on me, and he doesn't even tell me he's going to do it in my earpiece. This is the kind of day it's going to be today. In any event, lots going on today. Busy show for you. Austin is waiting patiently in the green room. We don't have a green room. He did it again. Quit switching cameras, Tucker. Austin Droughty, of course, is the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. They had a good weekend. Knock off Victoria and then West Kelowna, who's been a pain in our rear end early on in this hockey season, the Warriors, but they took care of business with them. On Saturday night, we'll talk to Austin. A little wild. They got a Wednesday. They got a rare Wednesday home game tomorrow. The Salmon Arms Silverbacks will be in town, and we'll talk to Austin about Wenatchee Wild hockey. We'll have the forecast. We'll have the news, sports. Congratulations to Julio Rodriguez, Jackie Robinson, American League Rookie of the Year. Wasn't unanimous. He got 29 of the 30 first place votes. There was one guy who voted for a Baltimore Oriole. That guy should be drummed out of the Baseball Writers Association, but that's neither here nor there. We got other sports to talk about and everything else. You need to get your day going. 2 minutes after the hour, not quite sunrise, as you can tell. Sunrise officially this morning, 7:06, but the weather pattern that we had yesterday is going to continue. Clouds and fog in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon, although it really didn't warm up much. Let's take our tour from around the valley. Tucker doesn't want to take the tour. You're going to have to, Tucker. Sorry. You have no choice. We only hit 35 yesterday because it took quite a while for the clouds and the fog to burn off, and it will supposedly burn off again today. Here's a friendly little reminder, though. 1 year ago, on November 15th, 2021, we set a record high temperature of 64 degrees. We'll be lucky to get to half of that. Today, as we look out at the Wenatchee Valley, I could see the cross when I got up this morning. Now it is obscured by fog and clouds, and this is going to be the way it's going to be. Camera 2. This weather is typically more like a January weather pattern than it is for November. Good morning to Cashmere. It's good to see you. You can see Steins Hill, but you can't see Mount Cashmere. That's obscured by clouds, but you can see most of the hamlet of Cashmere and a pretty good roll of traffic heading westbound into the big city from Cashmere, who used to dub themselves the early American city of Cashmere. They dumped that moniker years ago. I don't know why. If you do, let me know. Camera number 3 is downtown Wenatchee, which still bills itself as the apple capital of the world. Not a lot of traffic on this Tuesday morning. You could hit a golf ball right down the middle of the avenue there and not worry about hitting anybody. Pretty light traffic on this Tuesday morning. That's from the roof of the Cascadian pointing to the north. We have a couple of cameras there. We have to go with the lower cameras this time of the year because of the clouds and the fog. And camera 4. We wrap up our tour with sunrise above perhaps Billy Goat. Good morning, Billy Goat. Somewhere down there is Alta Lake, is the golf course, is Pateris, is Brewster, is Bridgeport, Omak, Okanagan, Riverside. You're all down there. Look at that. That is what you call socked in with clouds and fog. And look at the sun slowly coming up. It is now almost just exactly sunrise. Sunset tonight, 4:25. That's 9 hours and 19 minutes of daylight. And we still have a full month more of autumn before winter actually comes. Now, as far as the weather is concerned, here we go again. Cooler than normal temperatures going to continue all this week. That's about it. It's going to be just dry and cold, clouds and fog in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon. Now, next Monday and Tuesday, as we head into the Thanksgiving week, the weather has the potential to be pretty active with some possible snow right here in the lowlands, and a lot of snow is expected in the mountain passes. That's next week. For the rest of this week, as we are still under the influence of a big dome of high pressure over British Columbia, and it's just sitting there, and it's not allowing any kind of weather system to come in until we get to maybe Sunday night or Monday. Let's go ahead and check it out from the National Weather Service. Once the clouds and the fog burn off, we'll see sunshine and a high of 33 degrees. It may take some time, but it'll happen like it happened yesterday. That's a few degrees cooler than yesterday, of course. Partly cloudy tonight, 24 for the overnight low. We do it again Wednesday. Clouds and fog in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon, again about 34. We'll have mostly clear skies Wednesday night. We're not expecting any low clouds and fog to form, and that's why we're going to have pretty cool overnight lows. We'll be a little bit warmer on Thursday because we'll have more sunshine, but it'll be pretty chilly as we get into early Friday morning with an overnight low of 19. Do it all over again on Friday. Again, look at the overnight lows will be in the teens. That pattern continues on Saturday. By Sunday, things start getting mixed up a little bit. Could even see a little bit of snow on Sunday afternoon, although there's not a lot of it. Chance of snow goes up a little bit on Monday and Tuesday, but could also be mixed with rain because we're going to have considerably warmer temperatures back up to normal. Our normal high this time of the year is 44. We only hit 35 yesterday. We've had a long stretch of very cool weather after almost all of October being one of the warmest Octobers on record, and now we're in for a very cool, and have been in for a cool November. It's 6 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have your headlines for you. You're watching the Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel. You really are.
1989, I moved here in July. My dad farmed, my brother's still on the family farm. I worked for a dealer in Lewiston, Idaho. I was his general sales manager. My boss goes, I got a guy that may be ready for a store. We made one trip here, and that's how I ended up here. I'd never been here in my life, and I had no friends here. I have nothing, you know. I do now. I have a lot of friends here. I mean, this is my home. I love living here.
Is your recliner as comfortable as this? Does it have lumbar support? The new technology in power recliners is simply amazing.
Hi, can I help you?
Well, yes, I was just telling my friends.
Oh, about the great selection of recliners we have here at Boswell's? It's true. We have everything from pushback recliners to power recliners with all the latest features.
Boswell's Furniture on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
Seven minutes after the hour, it's cloudy, it's foggy, it's 28 degrees. We'll see some sunshine this afternoon, but not real warm. Only mid-30s. That pattern will continue with more sun than clouds by the time we get to the weekend, but temperatures are going to be well below normal. It's just about 8 minutes after the hour. Boy, it's a busy weekend for Wenatchee Valley firefighters. First of all, they had to rescue a man Sunday night. That man apparently trapped by a fire in the bathroom of his East Wenatchee apartment. Wenatchee Valley Fire Department Chief Brian Brett said the fire was reported just before 7 p.m. Sunday at an apartment in the 700 block of 5th Street Northeast. Firefighters arrived. They found the front living room on fire, the occupant trapped in the bathroom. He said crews knocked down the fire, pulled the occupant from the bathroom. The man was treated at the scene and eventually released. That was the second of 3 successive Wenatchee Valley fires on Sunday night. The first was about 6:30 in the evening at a home in the 300 block of North Emerson in Wenatchee. Brett said the firefighters there arrived to find the fire extending from the basement of the home to the fully engulfed front porch. The occupants were able to escape. Firefighters quickly knocked down those flames. Brett said the fire is under investigation, but it may be connected to a portable heater that was plugged in to keep pipes from freezing. And finally, the third fire was reported in a motorhome at about 10:30 on Sunrise Court. That's out in the Palisades. Brett said the motorhome was being used as a residence, and the occupant was able to move a pickup away before it was damaged. The motorhome, by the way, was completely destroyed. Chelan County Commissioners adjourned on Monday without appointing a new judge to fill the vacant district court seat that's being left by Kyle Mott. Kyle Mott is resigning effective December 5th. The Board of Commissioners shortlisted 5 applicants to replace him. The board carried out candidate interviews behind closed doors on Monday morning. Chelan County Public Information Officer Jill Fitzsimmons says they've extended an offer to an applicant and that they should make the appointment official 1 week from yesterday, next Monday. The other judicial seat is likely to be held by Wenatchee attorney John Volan, who so far holds about 53% of the vote from last week's election. Last week, Chelan County District Court refused to dismiss a raft of DUI cases despite admitted flaws in the way the breathalyzers were used. And now Douglas County's court has done the same. Judge Eric Bigger ruled that it's up to juries to decide whether the blood alcohol reading from a breathalyzer is valid. Other courts have found the devices weren't calibrated by the State Patrol in accordance with Washington law, and those jurisdictions have thrown out results in local DUI cases. Attorney John Brangwyn, who's leading the defense efforts, says he's going to introduce a new motion to dismiss or suppress the breathalyzer evidence under a claim of governmental misconduct. Both the City of Wenatchee and the Chelan County PUD are getting ready to open up their new buildings to the public this week. First up, guided tours tomorrow of Wenatchee's City Hall. The city has largely completed the renovation of the former federal building on Yakima Street, right across the street from our studios. 3 tours on tap tomorrow, one at 11:30 a.m., one at 12:15 p.m., and then one at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They're all tomorrow. And then Thursday at 4:30, the city will hold an official ribbon-cutting ceremony and dedication at City Hall. There'll be guest speakers, local entertainment, and refreshments. Obviously, the public is welcome to attend that. The open house for the PUD's new service center in Old Station will be Friday. Visitors' first gathering at Port Industrial Building number 5. That's basically across the street on Old Station Road. Hard hat tours of the new building will then be offered from 11 in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Work on the building began in August of 2020, will continue into next year. The PUD expects to begin a phased move-in early next summer. The service center replaces the PUD's current headquarters on 5th Street in downtown Wenatchee. The latest all-district musical for the Wenatchee School District opened over the weekend, SpongeBob SquarePants the Musical. The show continues Thursday through Saturday at Wenatchee High School with a matinee on Saturday afternoon. The musical is based on the popular TV cartoon. It's been a Broadway hit, and now it's here in town. I had a chance to visit with Paul Atwood, the director, who talked about the challenges of putting together a cast with kids of all ages.
This is the all-district musical. You got kids who are 5 years old, and you got kids who are 18 years old, oftentimes in the same scene at the same time. What are the challenges as a director to direct people with that wide an age group in difference? I mean, how do you do
interesting.
that?
It's interesting. Some of the young ones, it's like a little bit like herding cats. The older ones, of course, have experienced. We live in a great town that exposes theater to kids at a very young age, and they have all these opportunities to get involved in things like short Shakespeareans and stage kids and the community theater. And of course, these dance people that Fabius Feet and stuff like that. All these places and are cultivating what I get to work with here on stage.
You mentioned dance, a lot of choreography, a lot of movement. There's not a lot. In fact, the entire play, there's always something going on.
And Jennifer Devereau's the main,
of course,
choreographer.
Fantastic. But that's the one thing that people are going to notice. There's a lot of action, a lot of movement, very colorful.
And you're visually stimulated all times. So if you bring your child or whatever that's age 3 or 4 or 5, they're probably going to be
they'll be entertained.
Right. And not wondering.
And finally, work wrapped up on a Sunday night with the runway lighting project at Payne-Bourne Memorial Airport. It disrupted flight schedules off and on since late October. Stacy Demestri is the capital projects manager for the Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority. She said the new system, bringing minimum visibility down from 1.5 miles to 1 mile at the airport, will be operational the week of December 12th. Non-commercial flights will then be able to reduce their visibility standards, but commercial flights are going to have to wait until the FAA publishes the procedure change. That won't happen until February 24th. During the project, there were 2 stretches of nightly closures for 3 days last week, and while there was a full runway closure because you can't put the lights in when they're landing and taking planes off. Makes sense to me. And that's the news. At 14 minutes after the hour, the news will come your way. The complete newscast, the NCW Life Evening News with Grant and Eric and Cal and Jefferson and Tucker, will come your way at 5, 6, and 10 with a preview. Here's Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, quiet and cool weather expected today and tomorrow with breezy conditions possible on Thursday. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom has the latest on area high school, college, and pro action. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. I watch the news every night. And don't forget, you're not locked into those broadcast times. 5, 6, and 10 is when it's on television. But we also put it up on our Facebook page, on our homepage. So if you want to consume your news at your own convenience, you can do so. And if you have a news tip, you can do that too. Reach out to us. That's an unbelievable view from Billy Goat. Having a hard time concentrating. NCWLife.com is our website. There's a contact us icon there. Our Facebook page, and you just use the Messenger app, or you can email us directly if that's the way you like to do it. News at NCWLife.com. When we come back, sports, the obscure holiday today in history, some celebrity birthdays. Mike McNaughty's got an opinion. And Austin Droughty, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild, will be here live to talk wild hockey. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Fall has arrived and Collins Fashions is your headquarters for cozy warm sweaters and jackets. Holiday attire so sparkling and glamorous from Joseph Ribkoff and Frank Lyman. We have soft sweaters from Karen Kane, Tribal, Charlie B, and Ken Ross Cashmere. New jeans and all washes and styles just for you from Jag, Cut, Liverpool. New fall Brighton handbags and styles and colors in sable and chili pepper. And ladies, it's time to fill out your wish list at Collins Fashions, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
We were in Roseburg in the early 80s. Our oldest son, Dan, was a defensive back, a starter on that team. They in fact, became Oregon State champions, setting the first undefeated 14-0 season in Oregon's history. And a lot of people were losing jobs. Friends had left the community. It was a hard time. That football team and companies like Abby's kept that place alive and the community spirit alive. That's legendary.
17 minutes after the hour, in case you missed it, the college basketball season is underway. The Husky men, they're off to a good start. They're undefeated, 3-0. Washington come from behind to beat Utah Tech in Seattle, 78-67, behind the 26 points from Kenyon Menefield.
Over the top, nice it goes to Mia. What a look by Menefield.
Yeah, Braxton Mia take a tough shot and he missed it.
Open corner three for Noah Gonsalves. No dice.
Oh, Gonsalves has been off. He's had some really good wide open looks and just can't knock him down.
Trailer shot. Bajama. It's in.
That's just a great decision by Corin Johnson right there.
I think the right pass there would have been for Menefield. He still winds up saving the play and then dribbles it between his legs. Lines up for a Fuller three.
There you go.
For Utah Tech, it is Stain missing.
That was a good look, though. That's a shot Coach Junkins can live with. Look at that pass.
Just gets through, and Mia slams it in.
Oh, man, I like the young fella, Keon Menefield. He's got two athletic 7-footers he's playing against.
Leader strip. Christensen, again, not quick enough.
Yeah, what you going to say about that one then, AJ, huh?
Playing zone. Menefield, tough look. It's a step back three, and he's got it.
I'm telling y'all, this little fella gonna be special, man.
And the final score: Washington 78, Utah Tech 67. For the first time in the Mike Hopkins era, a 3-0 start for the Dogs.
Cole Benjamin had 16 points for the Huskies. Coach Mike Hopkins said he decided last night to go with a tall lineup.
We worked on it yesterday. We've been talking about it, but when you have new guys, you can't go too fast. You know, you got to slow build. Some of the rotations new guys are playing, forgetting some of the plays, so we got to keep it simple. We worked on it, had a couple things that we could do with them, and didn't know how it would be, but we went down 6 to up 7, so it worked.
Huskies are off to their first 3-0 start since Mike Hopkins became the head coach back in 2017, but he says the Dogs have a long way to go.
Obviously, winning is great, but like I told the team, like we just DMGB doesn't matter. We just got to keep getting better. Like we want to be prepared to win championships, and we got to clean up a lot of things. How our starts fouling a little bit, some different lineups, but I'm really proud of the guys adjusting on the fly. Those injuries happen one day to prepare. When you start playing games, there's not a lot of practice time, and energy is their greatest resource. And you don't want to sit there and pound them in there because they're kids. They got to go to school. They've got stresses and pressures and all these other things that student athletes deal with, and you're managing energy too.
Also in the men's courts last night, Angelo Allegri and Tyrese Davis each had 14 points. Eastern beats Mississippi Valley State 60-52. Eastern's women's team is also victorious last night. Jamie Laura hitting a layup at the buzzer. They beat Southern Utah 62-60. Jadia Martin led the way for the Eagles. She had 16 points. Jaquita Buckley had 13. And congratulations to the Washington State's very own Charlize Ledger-Walker. She was Pac-12 Player of the Week this week.
Charlize Ledger-Walker already with 5 points, make it 7. Beautiful. Tedar leaving it for Wallach. Panthers wanted to travel. Instead, it's Matuga with an easy bucket.
And when they themselves have the opportunity to attack the paint, they're getting a lot of easy looks. And again, you see right here, this is an amazing pass right there. Charlize Ledger-Walker is one of the best and most dynamic guards in the country and is so unselfish.
Rosenthal says, I got this rock and we are running. Rosenthal tried to get by Tedar, who poked it away after Rosenthal got by her. Ledger-Walker for 3. And she's got 1,000 points career, ladies and gentlemen. Charlize Ledger. History for number 5.
What you love about Charlize is she is taking and making threes at a nice clip this year, shooting at the ball with a lot of confidence, and nothing more confident than scoring your 1,000 point here in the Palouse.
Ledger-Walker had 35 points last Friday, even though they lost to San Francisco. And in Sunday's win over Prairie View A&M, she poured in 24 points. She scored over 1,000 points now in her career in Pullman. All right, speaking of lady athletes, Lady Bowlers converging on the local lanes at Eastmont and Lake Bowl today. It's Big 9 bowling. Wenatchee takes on Sunnyside. Eastmont will take on Eisenhower. 2 o'clock in East Wenatchee. Moses Lake welcomes Sela to town at 3 o'clock at Lake Bowl. Our winter broadcast season. We got our schedule locked and loaded and ready to go. Here's a little preview for you. Our December schedule starts on December 3rd. We'll be at Wenatchee High School for an interesting doubleheader. We get a lunch break in between. The Wenatchee boys basketball team starts it off at 1:45 against North Creek, and that's followed by the girls at 5 o'clock against Sela. We got a doubleheader between Eastmont and Othello on Tuesday, December 6th. The boys at 7, the girls at 9. The 8th is set aside for hockey and wrestling here on the NCAA Live channel. We'll start it out at 7 with Hockey Night as the Wenatchee Wild will battle the Trail Smoke Eaters, and that'll be followed by Wenatchee and West Valley in wrestling around 9 or so. We got non-league basketball between Eastmont and Lake Stevens, the girls at 2, the boys at 4. We're back with hockey and wrestling on Thursday, December 15th. The Wild will take on Penticton. That'll be followed by Eastmont and Moses Lake wrestling. And then on Saturday, December 17th, it's the first of 3 meetings of the season between the Wildcats and the Panthers. We'll be at Wenatchee High School. The girls started off at 4:45. The boys follow at 6:30. The Wenatchee Wild wrap up a 3-game homestand tomorrow night against Salmon Arm. Austin Droughty will be joining me later this morning to give you a recap of the Wild weekend, as well as a preview of tomorrow night's matchup for the Silverbacks. By the way, the puck will drop tomorrow at 6:05. And congratulations to Julio Rodriguez, the Mariners' all-star center fielder. The Jackie Robinson American League Rookie of the Year got 29 of 30 possible first-place votes. Nicely done, Julio. No real surprise. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 24 minutes after the hour. For the Obscura holiday, I could have chosen Raisin Bran Cereal Day, which is my favorite brand of cereal. We have 5 or 6 bowls a day. Not a day, a week. It's National Philanthropy Day, so give your money away. Today is America Recycles Day. Or you can clean out your refrigerator, which is not a bad idea. Today is National Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day, just in time for Thanksgiving. It's not a pleasant chore. I cleaned out my refrigerator, and I mean cleaned it out, took everything out, threw everything that was either old, bad, or was going to get old and going to get bad before he was even thinking about eating it. And what brought it on is I reached into the crisper drawer to grab something, and something in the back of my refrigerator bit me. That's when I decided it was time to clean out my refrigerator. And it's not a very fun task, but it's got to be done. Some things just, like most people, things work their way to the very back of the fridge, and then you forget about them altogether. Fun facts about refrigerators. About 10% of your household's total energy is used up by the refrigerator. That's sucker. Yeah, go ahead and go back there, Tucker. We're still working up with it. Yeah, about 10% of your household energy costs is taken up by the refrigerator. It sucks a lot of juice. A refrigerator that has food in it is more efficient than an empty refrigerator that's running. The first commercial household refrigerator was produced by General Motors back in 1911. It was very expensive. And then it got cheaper, and out came the Kelvinator. The Kelvinator, which was first manufactured in 1923, and by the end of the 20s, the Kelvinator brand of refrigerators from General Electric was in about 80%, had an 8% market share. Everybody had a Kelvinator. Some 15% of American households have 2 refrigerators. And how many refrigerators, brand new ones, are sold every year in this country? About 8 million. National Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day today. We can do that here at the office. We got 2 refrigerators here. It's 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history. It was called the March Against Death. It was held on Saturday, November 15th, 1969, 53 years ago today. About 500,000 people, most of them youth, converged to march in Washington, D.C. to call to an end to the Vietnam War. This was just right after the massacre was revealed, and a lot of people were really upset. 500,000 people, almost all of them youth, converged on Washington, D.C., demanding an end to the Vietnam War. It didn't work. 43 years ago on this day, the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, put a bomb in an airplane. It was supposed to explode somewhere in the middle of the country between Chicago and Washington, D.C. It didn't. A faulty timing mechanism prevented it from happening. Authorities later said if the bomb had actually exploded, it would have brought the plane down. It was plenty powerful for that. But the bomb malfunctioned. It began to smoke in the cargo hold. It filled the plane full of smoke. The plane landed safely at Dulles Airport in Washington, D.C. It was close. Kaczynski was not happy about that, and so for his next bomb, he sent it to the president of the United Airlines, which blew up, and he received cuts and burns over most of his body. And then exactly 6 years later, and the FBI by this point was trying to figure out they got a problem here. 6 years later, Kaczynski sent a bomb to a University of Michigan professor. For the professor, he didn't get hurt because his research assistant opened up the package instead. He got hurt. He was okay. The Unabomber starts to make noise on this date of 1979, and let's do some birthdays. I love the original People's Court. Back in the 80s, he was the original judge on the People's Court from 1981 to 1993. The ratings went down. They fired Joseph Wapner, but he was still good. He did 2,340 half-hour episodes of the People's Court. So if you like Judge Judy and Hop Bench and all that stuff, it all started with that guy, Judge Joseph Wapner, born in the state in 1919. Who is the most honored male performer in television history? The most honored male performer, the most Emmys. He's got 7 of them. Think about it. Ed Asner. Ed Asner, of course, portrayed Lou Grant on both the Mary Tyler Moore Show and then the show Lou Grant. The Mary Tyler Moore Show was a comedy. Lou Grant was a drama. He won Emmys for both of those shows. He got 5 Emmy Awards just playing Lou Grant and 2 more Emmy Awards for other jobs. Ed Asner, born in the state in 1929. I got to meet Ed Asner. He was in town about 10 years ago doing a play. Nice guy. We lost Ed last year at the age of 91. Sam Waterston is 82 years old today. Law and Order is back on the air. I didn't even know it. Of course, DA Jack McCoy and Academy Award nominations, Tony Awards as well. The great Sam Waterston is 82 years old today. And the guy who played the warden in The Shawshank Redemption, one of the best bad guys in movie history, Bob Gunton. Also is a singer. I didn't know that. He's 76 years old today, the bad guy in The Shawshank Redemption. It's 29 minutes after the hour. Going to take a break. Mike Mignotti's got an opinion. And then the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild, Austin Droughty, will be joining me to talk Wild hockey coming up live in the studio. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hello, television family. Grab your cup of coffee each weekday morning and join me. I'm Dan Kuntz, the host of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's everything you need to start your day. We're live and we're local at 7 a.m. every weekday on the NCW Live channel.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
With all the variety on SureStream TV from Localtel, there's always something to watch. But what if you hit the couch in the middle of all the shows? That's a perfect time to use the features Catch Up or Restart. Catch up on shows from up to 3 days ago, or restart your show from the beginning. Go to your guide and select the show to restart. Then play, pause, rewind on your schedule. Don't forget, SureStream TV from Localtel lets you decide when shows begin.
Who are you talking to? I told you, knock it off!
End the cycle. Call SAGE, Safety, Advocacy, Growth, and Empowerment. Get private, anonymous counseling. Learn how SAGE can help you. Receive legal assistance and protection. SAGE also offers a safe place for you and your children. Of course, a hug from Hank always helps. SAGE can help you move on with your life. Call SAGE today.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word. I think we should hire more people.
Doc, late for a meeting.
Hey, we need to build a home office. We're adding another bathroom.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, many times somebody has said something to me, usually something critical, and I get defensive. I'm sure I'm the only one. Now, what I've tried to learn to do when this happens is to stop and think. Why am I getting defensive? Is there some truth in what I'm hearing? Now, often this is the case, I got to admit. I get defensive because something about what I'm being told is accurate. And, you know, I think I should do this more often, reflect when I get defensive, when I'm criticized, and react that way. Maybe instead of defending myself, I should stop and think, you know, is there a chance for correction here and doing myself some self-improvement? Well, maybe there is. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Businesses and individuals have trusted the experienced professionals of financial alternatives for their retirement and investment needs for 40 years. They offer a broad range of investments, annuities, and insurance solutions for people and businesses throughout Washington. Financial Alternatives will assist you in making informed decisions for your future. Call Financial Alternatives today and meet with their advisors.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
While it may be hard to resist those big brown eyes and pleading face, many people aren't aware that people food can be dangerous to pets. And it's not just because of the added weight gain. Some foods are downright dangerous, including chocolate. For a detailed list of dangerous foods, go online to pawsandclawsvh.com. If you suspect your pet has eaten something dangerous, please call Dr. Shauna Baez and her staff at 888-PAWS, as your pet's health is important to us.
Getting ready for the boating season is easy with the help of Bob File Boats and Motors. Now's the time of year to upgrade your boat from a new motor, a bow mount, installing a state-of-the-art GPS fish finder, or just fixing your trailer lights. Make your appointment today. With marine technology changing fast, the service department stays up to date with the newest developments and factory certifications. Spend more time on the water and less time at the shore. Get ready for summer fun now at Bob File Boats and Motors.
Working with August Edge Real Estate, both sellers and buyers feel confident knowing they are in the hands of award-winning professionals. August Edge offers a 2% listing commission, which includes above-standard service and technology.
We offer high-tech 3D imagery, drone photos, local North Central Washington TV ads, and impressive smart flyer installed at your listing. The August Edge website also hosts your home with an interactive featured listing page.
August Edge is professional, personable, and preferable.
This could be the view out of your office window.
North Central Washington is probably one of the most beautiful places to live, and you get to experience it all as a transit operator.
Link Transit coach operators enjoy full family benefits, paid CDL training, a state-of-the-art fleet, and the satisfaction of being part of a progressive, community-minded team.
We have a lot of fun with each other. I mean, it's a good group of people. We're all kind of like a family.
If you like this view, Link has a seat for you. The next operator training starts soon. Apply today at linktransit.com.
Welcome back to Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on this Tuesday edition. Dan Kuntz. Austin is becoming a regular on the program. Have you been recognized out at on the streets lately? Grocery stores, gas stations?
Once in a while.
Yeah, so that's good. So people are getting to know you because you're kind of like the face of this place. You know, I mean, of the Wenatchee Wild, you're the one who's out there more than anybody. The rest of the guys are either at school or working out or playing hockey, so that's your job, right?
Helping out at some of the schools every once in a while, or helping out with toy drive coming up, or
that's right. Well, they're involved in that, the big Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. You're a part of that, and we probably should mention that the Wenatchee Wild, they go out to local schools, do the reading thing. They don't just they participate in the community. They don't just isolate themselves in the locker room and in the ice rink, do they?
Absolutely. Reading helped out with a gym class a couple of weeks ago. So the guys are out there. They're getting to meet the local kids, and they love going out and meeting the young fans.
And they like coming to Wenatchee too. I've discovered that. I've interviewed a lot of guys from California and the Midwest, and they like it here. They like it here.
They like it here. It's a great team to play for, a great organization to play for, and all around we try to make it as good an experience for these guys as possible, and they seem to be responding to it. And
they always, almost without exception, I should say, have a great relationship with their billet families. They become like their home. I mean, they do. It's their home.
It is. Guys, and it doesn't matter whether it's Wenatchee, whether it's Iowa, whether it's somewhere else. They'll come in. A billet family a lot of times becomes a second family or a third family for life. Some of the guys will meet somebody here. They'll end up starting families with people they meet in their junior hockey towns. So this is it's a formative time in their lives, and for a lot of them, it's a life-changing experience.
Well, one of the top defensemen in the Wenatchee Wild in their very first year is now married to my niece, and they have a kid. So that happens. He met her here in town when he was here. They handed out some hardware. The BCHL did to a couple of guys on both sides of the puck, both sides of the ice. Talk about the Napa Auto Parts 3-star award winners.
They did. David Hayduke was the third star of the week from the British Columbia Hockey League this past week. 2 goals, 4 assists on the weekend, 4 points in Saturday's game. First time he's ever done that in the BCHL. And Ian Samoza was the first star of the week with 9 points. No Wenatchee Wild players ever scored 9 points over back-to-back games. So a record-setting weekend for Ian Samoza and his first BCHL hat trick on Saturday night.
And it should be pointed out, we're going to show highlights, by the way, of their victory Friday night over Victoria and then the crazy game Saturday over West Kelowna. This team is scoring goals. That's not a problem. They're hitting the back of the net, aren't they?
They're hitting the back of the net, and they're, for the first time, the shots that they're getting are starting to hit the net consistently. They're getting good chances. They haven't finished on a lot of them consistently, and now over the last few games, we're really starting to see that. And at the other end, the defense is blocking shots consistently and really giving Owen Millward and Andy Vlaha a lot of help in front, which is something this group has been needing to do, working on doing, and finally they're doing it consistently, and the results kind of speak for themselves.
Before we show highlights, we'll start out with Friday night. Is being home this long helping a lot now? Because this is a fairly lengthy period of time where they're in Wenatchee. They're now in a routine as far as skating, workouts, school, all that stuff. Is that helping this team bond a little bit more?
It certainly doesn't hurt, and the guys do a lot of bonding on the road, but it doesn't help a lot with the routine. And being at home, the guys get to spend some time with each other, but they also get to sleep in their own beds, stay with their billet families, and get into a nice groove.
There's only so much bonding you can do on a 600-mile bus trip. I mean, even after that, I'm getting sick and tired of you, Jerry. Friday night highlights. Let's go ahead and look at the monitor here in our studio, Austin, and I'll let you take it as we look at the Victoria victory.
Well, we take it back to the first game of the weekend, and a goal early on the power play. That's Jason Stefanik to make it 1-0 from atop the face-off circles. But Wenatchee really got things going in the second period with 3 goals, and we see the second one coming up right here, a race into the zone. This is Parker Murray bringing it in. Nice drag, doesn't get the goal, but Luke Weiland there to clean up, and he makes it a 2-0 score just a minute 9 into the second period. Wenatchee adding on, Victoria would not get on the board, so it has to be Wenatchee adding on with another goal out front. This one makes it a 3-0 score. That's Micah Berger, his second goal as Wenatchee Wild forward. He makes it 3-0, and the Wild again score to make it 4-0. This shot from the left wing does not get through. The second chance does, and the Wild get it to a 4-0 score going into the third period. Then the power play got going. They were 3 for 4 on the power play in this game. Shot from the right dot goes to the backside. Cade Littler from the left wing dot on the one-timer. He makes it 5-0. And then Jackson Ebbett. This first shot is going to catch the goaltender, Gus Holt, a little bit by surprise, and you can see the reaction coming off his pads. Before he can find it, Jackson Ebbett finds it first and picks up his first BCHL goal. That one makes it a 6-0 score, the first Wild shutout win of the season. And they do it in front of 2,500 fans at Town Toyota Center. Breaks a little bit of a skid for the Wild, and they pick up the victory there. And, of course, the game on Saturday was rather exciting, too.
Before we get to that, and this is very important, if you follow Wenatchee Wild hockey, you remember last year, they had some sizable leads in games going halfway through the second period and even after the second intermission that they let slip away from them. They didn't do that this time around. Once they got up to that 3-goal lead, last year they would kind of take their foot off the gas a little bit, but not this year. They kept right at it.
There were a few times this season where you've seen the foot come off the gas a little bit and the leads have gotten away, but I really like the way the guys got up and they put their foot on the gas even harder in that game against Victoria. The pace was good all the way through the second and third period. The power play has been really good in spurts, and this has been a spurt lately. Had 6 games in a row with a power play goal. Last weekend they didn't have one. So to get one 3 for 4 on Friday night was really nice to see from this group. Good to see the work paying off for them.
Saturday night, big crowd, military appreciation night. All the veterans, active and not so much, got in for free. So they had a huge crowd against West Kelowna. West Kelowna is in our division. They're playing good hockey. It was a nice victory on Saturday night as we roll tape. Austin, walk us through the highlights from Saturday night's victory over the Warriors.
Lots of scoring in Saturday night's game, starting with David Hayduke, shot from the bottom corner of the right wing faceoff circle on the rebound. Nice early start for Wenatchee to make it 1-0, and they made it 2-0 just a little while later. Noah Jones out at the right point gets the puck. He's got a shot. Why not take it? His first BCHL goal, and he makes it 2-0. Near the end of the first period, Wenatchee would not keep the 2-0 lead going to the first intermission, though, as the West Kelowna Warriors drive it down the left wing, and the goal looked like he was going to go to the backside for the backhand, stays on the forehand on the front post, taps it in, and makes it 2-1. This shot ties it on the power play 2-2, and the lead erased before West Kelowna takes the lead. This puck just popcorning around the neutral zone before they sneak this one through, and a pass to the back door. Nice drag, nice shot, and West Kelowna takes their first and only lead of the night. That got Ian Somoza going a little bit. Shot up top on the power play from David Hayduke. Somoza with the tip, and Wenatchee with the tying goal. Next shot over to the left wing. This one's going to come awkwardly off the stick of Ian Somoza, just knuckles into the top corner of the net, but it gets where it needs to go. And Wenatchee takes the 4-3 lead into the locker room. Next goal, going to be a difference maker for somebody, and it's going to end up being Wenatchee. Shot on the left wing. They sneak it to the back door for Parker Murray, make it 5-3. This one got the Hats onto the ice. Luke Weiland from below the goal line. And it's Ian Somoza in the right wing faceoff circle. That one looks familiar. It's 6-3 Wenatchee as he scores his third goal of the game. Why not add one more just for good measure? This shot from the right point settles on the goal line. Does it sneak through? It does. And Wenatchee leads it 7-3. West Kelowna had the final word at the other end of the ice. They're going to pick up one more goal to cap off the scoring for the night and make it 7-4. But this one, a huge win for Wenatchee against second-place team in the Interior Conference and one of the best power play teams in the British Columbia Hockey League.
So what happened? The Wild, they found themselves ahead 2-0, feeling pretty good about themselves against a team they really need to beat because they're in their own division. Then boom, they give up 3 straight goals, and all of a sudden they're in a 1-goal lead. What happened after West Kelowna took that 3-2 lead? Could you sense something like, okay, well, enough nonsense, let's start playing hockey?
I think there was a little bit of that, and I think once they got that power play goal, Hayduke to Somoza, that got the crowd going again, got the game tied up. I think that clicked the light back on for the guys that, okay, we've got this game in hand. We can stay with these guys. We can beat these guys. Now let's go out and take care of this thing. Plus another goal on the power play gets their confidence up there as well. I think once that goal from Somoza got in, got them a little momentum going to the third period, the same way that West Kelowna got the momentum going to the second period with a late goal. And that first goal of the third period, we said it's going to be a difference maker for somebody. Either Wenatchee's got the 2-goal lead, or West Kelowna's got the tie game. They've got the momentum back now, and they've erased another Wenatchee lead. It's going to be a difference maker for somebody, and to find Parker Murray on the backside, get the crowd going again, get the 2-goal lead. That was, you could feel the snowball starting to roll down the hill at that point.
And for the first time in recorded history, a hockey rink was a scene of violence on Saturday night. I think we got ourselves a new rival here because things got real chippy. Roll the tape, Austin, and tell me what was going on here. You talk about your game misconducts. They were everywhere.
There were 8 game misconducts in the game, or at least a couple of game misconducts on this one, with Michael Valdez caught in a fight at the right in front of his own bench, and he's got the team behind him with 6.5 minutes gone in the third period. These guys were sent off with a game misconduct. The rest of them, 10-minute misconducts the rest of the way with not enough time to serve them. But things got a little disagreeable at the end between the two teams, to say the very least. West Kelowna down to 13 guys at the end of the game on Saturday night. 6 misconducts plus an injury that you're going to see on a high stick right here in the corner. So they start with 20 guys in the lineup. Lost 6 of them to misconducts and injury here in the corner. That starts another fracas with about 3 minutes to go. And the bench got a little short for West Kelowna. Wenatchee lost a few guys to game-ending penalties as well. But things were a little frustrating for West Kelowna. Probably a few perceived calls that should have been made that weren't. And Wenatchee with the crowd behind them, breaking a skid against West Kelowna, got their first win against the Warriors of the season. Plus, these teams have seen each other 4 times already this year, and they're going to see each other again next month before they wrap up the season series. We'll get Cranbrook, I think, here in a moment, but they're going to see each other 7 times this year, and they've only seen each other once yet, so they will get very familiar with each other very soon.
With all the fisticuffs, was this a carryover from some previous incidents earlier in the year? As you mentioned before, this is the 5th time we've played West Kelowna. Was there bad blood going in that I didn't know about?
I don't know that there was a ton of bad blood coming in, but once you start seeing a team several times in a row, you get sometimes a little too familiar with them.
What happens league-wise now? I mean, they frown on this stuff. I know it's always like, okay, it's a no-fighting league. Fights are going to happen. But the BCHL takes these things very seriously, as well they should. I mean, one bad little thing and some guy's college career is over. You know, what from a league standpoint, where do we go from here as far as discipline, doling out the discipline?
Well, as far as fights go, there's not a whole lot of tolerance for fighting. So there may be some league discipline coming there. As far as misconducts go, I believe it's a kind of a telescoping sort of thing. So just a simple 10-minute misconduct alone is not going to cost you. If you start stacking them up, then you might see a game or two off.
So you're going to get a whole bunch of yellow cards, and then before you eventually get a red card,
eventually
you won't be playing for a while. So maybe it's a good thing that we won't be playing West Kelowna for a while, calm things down a little bit. Salmon Arm, the only team in the BCHL is named after a gorilla native to the Congo. Salmon Arm coming to town, a Wednesday game. Talk about the Silverbacks. What do you know about them?
So Silverbacks and Bucks, both a couple of the top teams in the BCHL Interior Conference. Fourth, and Cranbrook right now is fifth. Salmon Arm is fourth. So a couple of good teams coming in. Salmon Arm has a lot of guys from some of the eastern prep schools that they've got connections with out east. Thayer Academy, Berkshire School, some of the ones that you may not have heard of if you're not looking for them, but once you start following a few teams, they'll pop up every now and then. So a lot of talent on the Salmon Arm Silverbacks roster. They'll come in on Wednesday night, Faith and Family Night, hockey bingo, play along with the game, and bring a book for the book drive, and we'll get you a ticket for a future home game.
Well, I would be remiss because we're this far into the season now. How are we doing health-wise? The usual just nicks and scratches and bruises? Anything that we need to talk about?
There are a few nicks and cuts right now that the guys are taking care of. A couple of guys that are out, Connor Overson and Garrett Sadlowski, are still on injured reserve right now with previous injuries. But we're starting to hit a busy stretch of the season where guys are going to get a little bruised, they're going to get a little banged up, and they're doing the best they can to stay healthy right now, but those are going to happen.
Again, Salmon Arm, 6:05, Wednesday games, 6:05, kind of like those Saturday games. We do them an hour earlier, so you can, go to bed at a decent hour. You can stream it on BCHL TV, Hockey TV. If you buy a subscription, you can listen to it on KPQ. One more question, Austin. We'll get you on your way. You've been here for what, about 3 weeks now?
About 3 weeks.
So it's a done deal. No jet lag. No what time is it? Where am I? Kind of stuff. Because that happens to me all the time.
There's still a little bit of what time is it? Being from the Central Time Zone, being out here on the Pacific Time, I'm constantly looking at my watch or my phone and saying, okay, I got to do a 2-hour translation here. I got to do some mental math and figure out what time it is back home. Keeping track of the teams back home when they play on Friday and Saturday nights, I'm constantly looking, going, why are all the games that I'm used to starting at 5:10? Oh, that's right. They haven't changed time. I have.
Right. It's good to see you, my friend. Go Wild. Again, Salmon Arm at the Town Toyota Center Wednesday, 6:05, with lots of cool things going on. Best tickets, you go to the Wenatchee Wild ticket office. Just go upstairs and walk right in. You might even see this guy hanging around. And
you probably will.
Yeah, get your tickets there, and or just walk up to the door and get them. But the best seats are the best seats. Those are the ones you want. Austin, be good, my friend.
You too.
Going to take a break and wrap up this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel. We really are.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
Hi
Highlander Grill and Golf Course is known as one of the finest wedding venues in the Wenatchee area. You do not have to be a member to come to Highlander. Highlander Golf Course offers a first-class backdrop for your wedding day. Our friendly professional staff will ensure your wedding and reception is picture perfect, from every moment leading up to the I do's to when the lights go down at the end of your reception. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Welcome to Bubbly by Cake Chick, where friends come to relax and reconnect. Enjoy delicious lunches, decadent desserts, classic champagne, and bourbon tastings. Make every day an occasion when you join friends at Bubbly by Cake Chick on Riverside Drive in Wenatchee.
Ho, ho, ho! Santa wants you to shop at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. They have a huge variety of fun Christmas items in their Christmas cottage. There's so much to choose from, and it changes day to day. Santas and snowmen, holiday dishes and decor, village pieces and ornaments. To add to your collection or start something new, you can't beat the prices. What's old is new again for you in the Christmas cottage at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center.
Green Motion is Central Washington's home for affordable e-bikes. They carry 5 models of Class 2 e-bikes, including folding models that fit right in the trunk of your car, and full-size mountain bikes with front suspension. All e-bikes include 5 levels of pedal assist and a throttle, allowing you to travel up to 30 miles with ease. The USB port can charge cell phones and other electronics right from your bike. You fell in love with your first bike, now fall in love again with a new Green Motion e-bike, located in the Mills Brothers building on the corner of Palouse and Wenatchee Avenue.
Oh, about 3 minutes to go on this program. Temperatures kind of just sitting right there. Cloudy and foggy, 28 degrees here in the big city. Temperatures very consistent. Moses Lake, you're at 25. Afraid is at 28. Downtown Dryden, let me check in, 30 degrees. That's the warm spot. Downtown Dryden is 30. Suburban Dryden also 30 degrees. Once again, good morning to Cashmere. Has anybody answered my trivia question? How come they don't call themselves the early American city of Cashmere anymore? Please write in if you know the answer. There's the beautiful Cashmere and the Wenatchee River. Downtown Wenatchee, Washington, USA. A lot more traffic now than there was 1 hour ago. I don't know if anybody was sleeping in or what's going on, but people are starting to get up, wiping the sleep from their eyes, getting their breakfast and their coffee, and heading down the road. And as you can see, although the sun is high in the sky now, above the Alta Lake Golf Course, up at that's our Billy Go camera, it has not yet burned off the clouds and the fog. Now, that is a high camera. That camera is over a mile high above sea level. That's a pretty tall camera. Somewhere down there is Pateros, is Alta Lake, and is Okanagan County, but it may take a little while for the clouds up there to burn off. Right now in Omak, let me check in, you're at 27 degrees in Omak. It's the same weather pattern we're going to have pretty much all week long. The only difference is we're going to see some clearer skies in the overnight hours, but just like it was yesterday, going to have the same thing today and the same thing tomorrow before we transition to mostly sunny skies by the time we get to Thursday. So for the most part, morning clouds and some heavy fog burns off with sunshine in the afternoon for today, Wednesday, and then Thursday. Things are going to be sunny for most of the day. From the National Weather Service, let's take one more look at that forecast for you. Again, we still got the clouds and the fog socked in right now. It will burn off. It took a little while to do it yesterday. It'll take a little while to do it today, but once it happens, we'll warm up, but not much. Only 33. Yesterday, we only got to 35. We'll be a couple degrees cooler today. 24 for the overnight low tonight. The pattern repeats itself. Morning clouds and fog on Wednesday, but not as thick and not as prevalent. It'll burn off a little bit quicker on Wednesday morning. Still just a little bit warmer, only 34. And then most of the day, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, it will be sunny. You won't have those pesky clouds and fog to worry about in the morning hours, and that means the overnight lows are going to be dipping down into the teens because we won't have that blanket of clouds that keep us a little bit warmer than normal in the evening hours. The one constant through this entire forecast period, our normal afternoon highs and our normal overnight lows are both below normal by quite a bit. We normally get into the mid-40s this time of the year. We're not going to be in the mid-40s, as you can see, for the foreseeable future. For Thanksgiving week, though, rain and snow is in the forecast. That's it for us. Have yourself a great Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.